My name's Anissa Sanisi, and I do UI and UX design. UI is user interface, and UX is user experience design. So I like to think I'm designing the experience for players. My most favorite game that I worked on, Planet Coaster. People used our games to create things that we didn't even think were possible. The immense creativity from our audience was so rewarding. So I think that's why I'm still in video games, just I love the community behind it all. So an event like today where we're showcasing the talent and skill behind video games that comes from a diverse background is really super important, especially towards the younger audience. We want to show people that, especially parents as well, that there is a great place here for work, for a blooming career in video games, and you don't need to fit a specific type of box or personality. We're always looking for different types of people, we're looking for different voices and different experiences. That's the important thing for us, is just exposing to everybody just how we want inclusivity and we want diversity and we want your voice in the future to join us, and we'll make much better games and much more fun things in the future.
My name is Brendan Gibbons, and I am a narrative designer. I make the story, but collaboratively, like with other people, so I need to make sure that the story is told in all of the ways that it can be told, which includes writing, but also storyboarding. It's a lot of collaboration that way and communication. My journey into games is a very, very strange one. My dad handed me this newspaper clipping from my grandma that just sort of said, people are studying in Europe, do you want to go there? I looked it up, basically tried to find something that I'd be interested in studying in, accidentally stumbled across this game design school in the Netherlands, went over there and said why not, because you could sense this passion with everyone, with all of the students and all of the teachers, and I just felt like, I think this is something I could do. This is something that feels good. And then from there, I finished my education, and then I worked in China for a year, in Italy for a year, and now I'm currently freelancing up in Newcastle. Going to university to study video games is not a bad route into it. Looking back at it, I realize now that what I was doing is I was paying this tuition fee so I could have a space to fail and to, work out what I wanted to do and to learn all of these lessons, really in sort of this very direct way.
Hi, I'm Luciana Nascimento. I work as a senior 2D artist at CodeSync. At the same time, I do art direction for Bunny Hug. So recently released Wargroove with Chocofish. I was an artist in the project, and I created the visual art style for it. I wanted something really, really colorful and that feels really, really nice and happy, even though it's a game called Wargroove. It's kind of contradictory. I think it's a bit scary when you go into a job or to a workplace and you feel like an outsider, and I think it's important to be able to see that everyone of all backgrounds and all types work with games, and we're all making fun stuff for everyone to enjoy.
I'm Malaf Abbas, and I'm a games designer and a creative producer. Creative producers is, in a sense, someone who's able to do many, many things, from project management to client relationships, building teams, design work. It's a nice catch-all for a lot of things that I do. So I am part of Biome Collective. We're known for a number of projects, including the BAFTA Scotland nominated Killbox, which was a game that explored drone warfare. The games industry is actually quite accessible. People who make games are very, very friendly. They're very passionate about what they do, and that passion really kind of transfers really well. So you can become friends with people who make games, but more importantly, it's about taking part and making games yourself. The games making process become easier. There are tools, there are jams that get organized. There's lots of free tools online, for example. So it's about getting out there, doing your own work, but also meeting people, like-minded people, and challenging yourself. It's a great career.
Hey there, I'm Kwang from Sobi Tech. It's an indie game developer studio that I run with my brother.
Asobi Tech.
Yeah, my brother would be pissed if I didn't mention him. I do, to be honest, I do most of the work on my own, but he does get involved. So, we came over as refugees from Vietnam in '79, and my father wanted the best for us, to give us opportunities, and he got us a computer thinking that would be a good way to go forward. Having the computer made us game programmers. So the thing about games I like is they're the summation of all the medias. There's arts, graphics, music, interaction, and you take everything, you put it together, and you have video games. So having an event like Ensemble 2019, it's so important for representation. If I was a kid and saw people like me doing what I do, it means if I can see it, I can dream it, I can be it, and it just gives people possibilities.
Hi, I'm Ranjani. I'm a producer at Six to Start. We make Zombies Run, and in 2017 we made Zombies Run the board game. It was incredibly serendipitous. I just got into Zombies Run while I was running and followed the company on Twitter. They advertised an internship and I applied on a lark, and I got through and started helping out with recording the seasons for Zombies Run. And from there, I've just inserted myself into everything else the company does.
You might be getting too valuable to lose.
Everything from shipping merchandise to QA to working on the board game as producer and campaign engineer. So it's been a wild ride. If I could make it in here, you can. I worked in finance before I got into games, and it was a huge switch for me, and I went through the same thing that everybody does, which is think I'm not good enough. And like I said, I applied on a lark, thinking that I wouldn't get in, but I should try anyway. And I think that's the best bit of advice I can give to you. Even if you don't think you'll get in, you should try anyway.
So my name is Shay Thompson. I currently work as an Xbox interactive streamer, and I also founded the initiative Level Up Link Up. I started as a runner, so, by making teas and coffees and booking stuff. Kind of gave me the tools to then work my way up to office manager, and then from there I became an Xbox interactive streamer.
Oh man, really?
People want to feel like they have friends, and that's a big part of why every time somebody comes into my stream, I shout them out by name. I ask them how they're doing. Did I do it? So I introduce people to role models that they might not have necessarily been aware of, and put them in contact with people that can really affect some change. I mean, just having people come up to me saying, first of all, I did not realize that there were this many black people working in the industry, and also you've given me so many tangible tools that I can now take and put towards actually finding a job doing something that I love. That's been immeasurable.
I'm Zai Peters. I work at Sumo Digital, and I'm a level designer. A level designer creates the spaces that the gameplay takes place within. So making a good level is all about understanding who the target player is. It involves a lot of psychology, really. Understanding what's going to motivate them and can make them continue playing a game and enjoy it.
All ships prepared to fold out.
An event like today is really important because it gives visibility to future generations on the people behind the games. It helps them to understand that these are made by real people and the different skill sets that are required